Sean Diddy Combs is back in a New York courtroom, marking a third attempt to be released on bail in his sex trafficking case. He's been in jail since his arrest in September, and today's hearing is happening as Combs' lawyers are accusing prosecutors of manipulating a disturbing video, one that you've probably seen. It's the one that shows him brutally attacking his then girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, in a hotel hallway back in 2016. CNN's Elizabeth Wagmeister is live in Los Angeles. Elizabeth, does the Combs team have a strong case here to make, especially in light of these recent allegations that he's been making calls from behind bars that could be seen to influence maybe witnesses?
Look, Brianna, so Combs' team says that those allegations about those phone calls and tampering with witnesses from behind bars, they say that that is not true. They are denying all of that. There have been filings flying left and right. Today, we've had two new filings. Last night, there was an additional filing where they spoke about that video that you just referenced, Brianna. So Combs' team, they are working very hard to try to get him released. As you said, this is going to be his third bail hearing. We'll see if third time's a charm, but right now what we see here is some screenshots from that disturbing video that our team broke here at CNN. Now, what Combs' team is saying in this filing is that prosecutors, they claim that they submitted a version of that video that our team released. Now, we have not seen that alleged video that prosecutors submitted to the court for these bail proceedings. We don't know what was in them, but Combs' team is saying it's edited, that they left out some of the material, that it's out of order, and they are taking issue with that. Now, I want to read you part of what Combs' team said in that filing, Brianna. They say, quote, "The video is not evidence of a coerced freak-off and sex trafficking, but rather a sad glimpse into a decade-long consensual relationship between Mr. Combs and Ventura." So they are categorizing this as a sad moment within a consensual relationship. I think what you saw, Brianna, what I saw, what the world has seen now, is that video depicts a horrific, violent attack against a woman.
Sean Diddy Combs, the renowned music mogul, entrepreneur, and cultural icon, has often been in the headlines for his various ventures in entertainment business and philanthropy. However, his reputation has recently come under fire due to legal proceedings that have taken an unexpected and dramatic turn.
What happened behind closed doors? The footage that we have seen occurs in the hallway of that hotel room. But what happens in the hallway of that hotel room, according to the footage that our team obtained and released earlier this year, again, is Combs dragging Ventura, kicking her, throwing a vase towards her, a glass vase towards her. So we will see what the judge has to say. But right now, Combs in a courtroom, the third attempt to get out before his criminal trial. Remember, Brianna, his criminal trial is set for the spring of next year, and he has been denied bail twice. He is trying to get out as he awaits that trial.
Yeah, that may be a tough sell, but we'll see what the judge says. Elizabeth, thank you so much for the report. Boris?
Let's discuss some of the details with Joey Jackson. He's a CNN legal analyst, a former prosecutor as well. Joey, thanks so much for being with us. This is Sean Combs' third try to get out on bail. Do you think he has a better chance this time around?
So he may, Boris. Good to be with you. And here's why. You heard Elizabeth reference the issue of the recording, and here's why it's significant in terms of its manipulation. Just to reset, the critical to his denial on bail were really two factors. The one factor related to him being a danger to the community. The other factor being how he would potentially obstruct witnesses. Now, critical in the prosecutor's arguments at those previous hearings was the fact that there's this tape that everyone has seen, and they said, prosecutors did, that tape was in the context of a freak-off. It was in the context of sex trafficking. It was in the context of him being violent as it related to that count in the indictment against Miss Ventura, right, who's referred to as victim one. But here now comes the defense saying, hey, by the way, the prosecution has misled you, court. This had nothing to do with a freak-off, as is alleged, which were the parties that he was allegedly having, that is P. Diddy, with all of these instances going on with coerced sexual activity, etc., had nothing to do with that. It also had nothing to do with sex trafficking. This was a domestic dispute. Now, it doesn't make the violence in the tape, Boris, any more tenable, right? Violence is violence. It shouldn't have happened, but it gives it context. Now, when you get down to the manipulation of the tape, the reordering of the tape, did you mislead the court? If they did, that's a factual question. A judge won't be too happy. Second brief point, and that is they're also arguing, the defense team, that there's the issue concerning his...
A lawyer representing Diddy in a high-profile case reportedly stormed out of the courtroom after being presented with shocking new footage that added a new layer of complexity to the already intense legal battle. The footage, which has sparked widespread speculation, could potentially change the trajectory of the case, and by extension, Diddy's public image.
Prepare and be ready for trial. If you're going through and rummaging through his notes and other records that are attorney-client privileged and peeping at them and looking at them and using them against them, how could he prepare for trial? So those, we know that there was a raid of the cell and there were certain notes that were used that the prosecution now has. Defense team saying, no, we need to be able to prepare him. So those are the two critical arguments that they're making. We'll see whether they carry the day. But to your question, I think this new material certainly gives and may give the judge pause this time in terms of saying, maybe it is that I should grant him some bail package that is reasonable or not.
Joey, about those personal notes, the prosecution has argued that this was a previously scheduled search. I'm wondering how a judge goes about determining where to land on whether these notes are actually admissible, and do you expect that the phone calls that he's apparently made, allegedly made, to be significant? These like three-way calls to try to convince witnesses to do one thing or another.
So, Boris, everything has a context, right? And so when you evaluate the context, let's look at the notes. Yes, it could have been a pre-planned search, and it's important to search in jails. Safety and security is preeminent. You want to ensure that. But when you get notes and other materials that could be subject to attorney-client relationship, there should be a filter team. That is a team of prosecutors who have experience to go over those records to determine whether or not they could be usable. Now, those prosecutors generally are unrelated to the case. They'll look through it and they'll parse out the material, and if it could be given over to the other side who's on the case, they'll do that. Defense team says they failed, that is the filter team, in that regard, because those notes should have never been given and used in this case. That's number one. That's troubling, and there should be a hearing as it relates to that. And so we'll see where the judge lands on that issue, moving forward with regard to whether or not. I think the notes are certainly not going to be admissible, but I don't think the judge is going to be very pleased in terms of you using that against him. And it furthers the defense's narrative that, hey, you know what, we need him out here, right, so that he could prepare with us, not inside where they're peeping and looking at his records and documents.
Diddy, whose influence in the music industry spans decades, has long been admired for his success in launching major artists like Notorious Big Mary J. Blige and Janelle Monáe, as well as his involvement in various businesses like Ciroc Vodka, the clothing line Shed John, and his media company Revolt TV.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tony Busby. I'm a lawyer here in Houston. I'm licensed in Texas and in New York, and I'll introduce other members of our team as they speak. As many of you know, our law firm has been at the forefront of some of the most important litigation in the United States. We like the tough cases. We thrive in the complicated cases. We've handled over the last 25 years some very big and very important cases. I believe that this one may surpass them all. There are many facets to this. The conduct we will describe today occurred over more than 20 years. There are many people and many entities involved. And we're going to follow this evidence wherever it takes us. We will find the silent accomplices. We will expose the enablers who enabled this conduct behind closed doors. We will pursue this matter no matter who the evidence implicates. These brave victims who have stepped forward deserve nothing less. The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward. Our team has had at this point more than 3,285 individuals contact us, with people claiming people claiming to have been victimized by Sean Combs. After vetting, we now represent 120 individuals who intend to bring civil claims in civil court against Sean Diddy Combs, as well as claims against many other individuals and entities that we will name as defendants as we file these individual cases. And you should know, to the extent the clients feel comfortable, we also intend to make these individuals available to the authorities, specifically to the FBI. And you should also know a few of them have already been spoken to by the FBI. Now, before we discuss the nature of the claims and claimants themselves, let me comment on the large volume of calls we have received since our first announcement. Even before the indictment of Sean Combs, we had received a small volume of calls and had screened a handful of cases. After the indictment of Sean Combs and the announcement that we were pursuing these claims, the floodgates opened. People who wouldn't otherwise, for a variety of reasons, are now stepping forward to make.
Throughout his career, he has cultivated an image of a savvy and successful businessman with a larger-than-life persona, yet with success often comes controversy, and Diddy's life has not been without its share of public scrutiny.
And to pursue justice. But no, most of these people are scared. They fear backlash in their communities. They fear backlash in their own families. They are afraid of retaliation from the perpetrators and their associates. They are rightly afraid for their own personal safety. I expect that through this process, many powerful people will be exposed. Many dirty secrets will be revealed. We know what we are potentially up against. And as is always the case in situations like this, when a celebrity is involved, people can be downright mean and nasty. You would be shocked at the length fans will go, no matter the evidence to the contrary, to defend celebrities they love. I mean, there's a reason for this word fans. They're fanatics. I've personally already been threatened multiple times on social media. And when I agreed to pursue this, I expected as much. This isn't my first rodeo. But victims who step forward to have their voices heard should not be subjected to that kind of conduct. They should not be targeted. I want to say this, and I want to be clear about it. Although we are vetting each call as stringently as we can, I always start with a mindset that I believe victims. I believe victims because I understand the tremendous courage it takes to step forward. So if you're watching this, please hear me. If you're out there and you have been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength in numbers. You can seek redress. You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you. That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We have had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check venues, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit. We have on staff now a former detective from the Major Offenders Unit of Houston Police Department who is helping us vet each claim. We're using our common sense. We're being stringent because, as I said, these are not easy cases. They're very tough. The process is hard, and in some cases, the process is very lengthy. These cases are hard to prove. Many times, it's the victim's word against the alleged perpetrator. Each of these victims will no doubt be publicly attacked by the alleged perpetrators, and in some cases, the general public.
The legal case in question centers around allegations of misconduct that have seized the attention of both fans and critics alike. The specifics of the case have remained somewhat murky, but reports suggest that the claims involve serious accusations that could have a significant impact on Diddy's career and personal life.
The raid goes down. The media goes crazy. Diddy's looking real scared in videos. He got caught on video at an airport. He looks really scared, in the video. Kids, they got the kids in handcuffs. I think that's probably normal procedure when you raid a house. And his plane goes to the Bahamas. Now, do you think that if they found a lot of stuff, how long do you think it's going to take for them to make their case?
Well, they're going to go back for everything that they know of, or people that they have arrested, or people that have charged. And they're going to compile all that stuff so they can have an ironclad case. That's why you haven't seen them come forward with anything like that, because if they go and arrest him right now and charge him with something, they have to prepare for a trial or prepare a case. They have to give up their discovery. Their discovery is what all the information that they have. They trying to do an ironclad case, so they go to his lawyers and them and they say, yo, this is what we have. What your boy want to do? This is what we got. What are you gonna do? And doing that, we know the federal government got what, a 98.9 conviction rate. And this wasn't even the FBI, this wasn't the DEA, this wasn't the ATF, this was Homeland Security. Like he had really, what's the word I'm looking for? That he had really did something that threatened the safety of the United States of America. That's crazy, man. Like he had really did something so bad that threatened the safety of the United States of America when you send Homeland Security in there. So they trying to make an ironclad.
Legal battles for high-profile figures like Diddy often bring intense public interest, but the courtroom drama reached new heights when startling new evidence emerged just as the case seemed to be nearing a conclusion.
So when they do file charges against him, he either gonna take a plea, because if he go to trial, they not, especially in the Southern District, if they do it in New York, the Southern District, look and see how many times they lost the case. They don't lose. And they pride themselves by the famous words of Malcolm X, any means necessary. They're gonna try to win a case.
Diddy gets arrested. They bring him in there. They show him the evidence. They tell him how many years he's looking at. They say, we are going to give you a hell of a deal, but you must tell us about other celebrities. Well, did he cooperate?
You said, will he cooperate? Is the pig pork? Huh? Man, listen here.
Yes.
Shit. That motherfucker gonna be squealing on everybody. Yo, Cam, yo. He not built to do no time. He not built to be in situations like that. Once he get in a situation that he clean his system of all those toxins that he's been taking over the years, he's gonna come to reality. And that's gonna hit him worse than anything.
How fast does he cooperate? Right off the gate, as soon as he walks in, like Tekashi 6ix9ine?
I don't know nothing about Tekashi 6ix9ine, bruh, but I do know this. The lawyers are gonna sit with him. You know, he got high power lawyers. They're gonna give him the information, show him the information, and then he's gonna ask him, can we beat this case? And based on the lawyers he picked, they haven't won a big powerful case a long time. They probably lie to him and say no, but he gonna have to see their track record and know they can't beat them. not those young, energetic lawyers that's trying to be judges over in the Southern District. Nah. They wouldn't have used all that manpower if they didn't have anything, or they didn't feel like they could get them. But there is a God and anything is possible.
Do you think that the standard of what they're gonna need versus Diddy versus like an average person is higher because he has so much money for lawyers and the defense?
Well, you have to understand this. When they want somebody, the standards is gonna be astronomical. You understand? They're gonna put their best foot forward in everything. Every T would be crossed, every I would have a dot on it, and they were gonna go hard because they don't wanna look bad. The dude had been laughing and joking in the media and coming on like he has nothing to worry about. And they look at that as a slap in the face. And plus, he's a black man. I'm not trying to make this out a race thing, but they're not gonna do him like they did Vince McMahon and let his stuff go away. You understand? Vince McMahon had those charges against him and resigned from the WWF and went away. Nobody talked about that. So now, to make Puff the face of sex trafficking, the face of being monogamous towards women and misogynist, being a misogynist towards women, making a face of being a misogynist towards women, sex trafficking, dealing drugs and all that. After all the
Diddy and his legal team regroup in the wake of the footage release. They must confront the reality that their once strong defense has been compromised. How they respond to the new evidence will likely play a critical role in the outcome of the case and the future of Diddy's career. So we got to wait to see what the judge going to say. This all going to land on the judge on 5525. You heard about how he might be getting some more indictments. I think that they trying to beef up their case. Bro, they gonna continue to beef up their case. Once they continue to dig and get stuff, once they continue to dig and more and get more stuff from the business part of it, they're going to use those charges because if he or will this unexpected and Diddy's every move will be. And thanks for watching Celebrity Spill, guys.